Hello everyone, I am so glad to be back making another video because this is what the video means. It means that we are very close to being back to a normal how classes will work. Not a project right now, not the weird sentence stuff that we had to do in the last unit with the contrapositive and alternate, no, excuse me, contrapositives and conditional statements and all that kind of stuff. Just good old geometry, math, angles, all that good stuff. Alright, so I'm going to walk you through these. Now you're going to see that there are two videos for this unit. The first one is going to be me going through and I'm going to set up the equations. But we heard some of y'all complain that, man, the videos are so long, do you have to take so long explaining how to solve a problem? No, we don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to set up the problem. I'm going to tell you the answer. If you are one who doesn't need me to go over how to solve an algebra problem, then you don't have to watch the next video. But if you don't know how I get the problem, the answer that I get, you might want to watch the next video so you know how to find that answer. I'm going to be honest with you on two of them just because I'm tired and I don't want to take the long time to explain. I'm going to just cheat and use the calculator because it's a lot easier. Anyways, let's start up here at the top. So we are talking all about transversals and parallel lines. When we have parallel lines, there is a special relationship that happens. We talked about all the different angles. There's alternate interior, alternate exterior, all that stuff. But when there's parallel lines, a special relationship happens. Okay, so the thing is, this 65 is related to every other number here. Okay, this 65 is the same as three other numbers, and it's the supplement of four of the numbers. Okay, so here's the deal. We know that since 65 is this angle, we know that across from it, number 1 right here, these are vertical angles. These are going to be the same. So number 1 is also 65 degrees. But number 2, these are a linear pair. They're next to each other. Together, these make a straight line. So number 2 is going to be 180 minus 65, or 115 degrees. Number 3, well, I could look at it this way. It's also a linear pair with that, or I could say, hey, look, it's the vertical angle from number 2, so it's also going to be 115 degrees. Oops, the degree symbol goes there. All right, now, I see 65 and 4. These, if you remember, they're in the exact same location. See, this is the top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Well, this is the top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. 65 is in the bottom left, just like 4. These are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are the same. It's also 65 degrees. And we can do the same thing. 4 and 5, that's a linear pair. So it's going to be 180 minus 65, or 115. 6 and 5 are vertical angles, so 6 is also going to be 115. And 7 and 4 are also going to be vertical angles, so that's going to be 65. All the angles in here are either going to be 65 or the supplement, the thing that makes 65 add up to be 180. Just like over here, all of these angles are either going to be 120 or they're going to be the supplement of 120, which, by the way, 180 minus 120 is 60. So it's either going to be 120 or it's going to be 60, one or the other. All right, so looking at this, I see angle 120 here is in the same location as angle 1. Because, see, I could extend this out if I wanted to. By the way, I didn't say this, but I should have. See this little mark right there and right there? That means these lines are parallel. See, it doesn't say it up here, but that mark tells us that. Same thing on this one. These are parallel. That's how I know these two things are complementary. And so number 1 is also 120 degrees. Angle 2 right here, angle 2 with 120, these are same side interior angles. So those two things are supplementary. They add up to be 180. So that means number 2, we already figured out, is 60. Angle, this one and angle 3 right here, those are alternate interiors. So angle 3 is 120. And angle 4 and this 120 actually don't have an official name. There's no like real relationship there. But since we know angle 3 is 120, or since we know angle 2 is 60, vertical angles tells us angle 4 has to be 60. And as for angle 5 and this 120 make a straight line. And so since they make a straight line, it's going to be, they're supplementary. It's 180 minus 120, which is 60. Alright, so coming down here. These are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are congruent. That means my setup is going to be 15x plus 8 equals 128. And the answer to that is 8. Now, if you need to see me work that out, you're going to see the next video and I'll work that out. Over here on this one, these are same sides, either on the same side of the transversal, same side interior angles. Same side interior are supplementary. That means they add up to be 180. I'm going to take this one, negative 1 plus 11x plus 115, and, negative 1 plus 11x, and I'm going to add this one, 115, and that is going to equal 180. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, though, that x is 6. If you need to watch the video as to how x is 6, please do. Down here, these are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are congruent. And see, they're both inside these lines, but one's on one side of the transversal and one's on the other. So this is going to be 20x minus 6 equals 114. And that is going to equal, weird, but that equals 6 again. And we'll talk about that. I'm sorry, that's a horrible congruent sign. It's an equal sign with a little squiggly over it. That's congruent. Back over here to this one. These are alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles are also congruent. And so this is going to be 120 equals 15x. And then x in this case would be 8. Again, another 8. Alright, and I'll go over why that is in a little bit. If I'm on box 1, I really should box all of them, sorry. Coming over to the next one here. These are on the same side, but they're on the same side. One's on the outside, one's on the inside. They're not same side exterior because it's not here and here. It's not same side interior because it's not here and here. These are complementary. And we've already done, actually, these are corresponding, excuse me. These are corresponding. We already did one like this. This is like number 3. Corresponding are congruent. And so 10x minus 10 is going to equal 8x plus 10. Alright, over here, now we have same side interior again. This is just like number 4. They're both on the same side of the transversal, and they're inside these two parallel lines. Same side interior are supplementary. I don't like that word because it's so long. It takes forever. Alright, so if they're supplementary, I'm going to take this angle, x plus 121. And I'm going to take that angle, x plus 81. I'm going to add them together, and that's going to equal 180. And when I solve, oh, I'm sorry, I skipped that. When I solve this one, x is going to equal 10. And when I solve this one, when I solve this one, oh, that's a weird one. When you solve that one, x equals negative 11, I believe. Let me do that in my head real quick. If that's negative 11, that'll be 110. Yep, that works. The answer, x is negative 11. We don't deal with negatives too often in geometry because normally it's a measurement and you can't have a negative measurement. But if I put negative 11 here and negative 11 here, the answers end up being positive. So it actually does work. All right, on the back of this, starting up here at the top, We have alternate exterior angles. See, different sides of the transversal. One's they're both outside the parallel lines. Alternate exterior are congruent. And so the setup will be 33x plus 1 equals 34x minus 2. And the answer to that, x is going to end up being 3. This one we've got again, these are alternate interior angles, and those are also congruent. Alright, because they're on different sides of the transversal, but they're inside the parallel lines. So they're alternate because they're on different sides, but they're interior because they're inside the parallel lines. So the setup will be 4x plus 14 equals negative 4 plus 6x. And the answer to that is actually going to be x is going to equal 9 in that one. Whew, these are the bad boys here. I don't have the time to work this out factoring, so I'm going to use a calculator in a little bit when I show you how to do this. But these are corresponding angles, and corresponding are congruent. Okay? And so x squared is going to equal 72 plus 6x. And there are actually going to be two answers for this, and they both work. The answers are going to be negative 6 and 12. Both of those work. X equals negative 6 and 12. I'm going to show you how the calculator gets that answer in a bit. Over here, these are alternate interior again, just like on number 10. Alternate interior are congruent. And so again, it would be x squared equals 56 minus x. And there are going to be two answers for this one as well. X is going to equal 7 and negative 8. It's going to equal both of them. And again, I'm going to use the calculator to show you how to find that just because, man, it's quicker. Alright, for these, it says here that the opposite sides of the figure are parallel. So that means that this is parallel to this, and this is parallel to this. So I looked at this earlier trying to find the best way to figure this out. If we take this entire angle here, and this entire angle here, those would be same side interior. And same side interior, SSI, are supplementary. So I'm going to add all of this together and all of this together, and it's going to equal 180. So 35 plus 9x plus 12 plus negative 7 plus 11x equals 180. And just trust me, because I've done this, I've checked it twice, x ends up being 7. Now, I'm going to work it out in a minute on the video if you want to watch the next one. On this one, same thing. It says the top and the bottom sides are parallel. This is parallel to this. So if you think about the parallel lines, normally they extend on and on forever this way, and on forever this way. And the same thing with the transversals. They go on and on forever this way. Well, now this looks like something we've seen. This one and this one again would be same side interior. And they are going to be supplementary. And so it's going to be 20x plus 9 plus 10x minus 9. That's going to equal 180. And your answer for that, x is going to end up being 6. Okay. So I am going to turn this video off now. I hope that works for y'all. If you need to watch the video on how to get those answers, then please watch the next one. If not, we'll talk to you soon.